Hello everyone, welcome to Average Joe Watch Reviews, where we do more than just reviews. Today we're going to be talking about the Seiko 55 Fathoms automatic, the SNZH57. This watch is going to be a classic one day, mark my words. This is a very, very popular watch and one that you're not going to want to miss. I just recently did an unboxing with my baby daughter, baby Madison. And we just did a very, very short overview. So now we're going to do a very deep dive and full comprehensive review of the Seiko. And also, if you're not subscribed to the channel, please do so. It helps me to continue to produce more videos and definitely helps to support the channel. And also hit that notification bell because that'll let you guys know when a new video pops up. So let's dive right on in to the review. All right, let's get into the watch of the hour, which is the Seiko SNZH57, the 55 Fathoms automatic, Seiko 5 Sports. This watch is going to be a classic one day, mark my words, but take a look at this beauty. It has an extremely retro look, which is what I like about this piece. It looks retro, but it's indeed modern. But there's a lot of things to like about this watch that we will get into. So first and foremost, if you take a look at the 12 o'clock, the 6 o'clock, and the 9 o'clock positions, you'll see that we have indices that are actually shaped like a trapezoid, I guess you could say. You've got one side, you've got the top, you got another side here, and you got another side there. So I mean, it's a multi-dimensional indice, and you've got even multiple multi-dimensional indices at the other markers, but they're just thinner. Lot of contrast going on here. We have gold indices. We have gold outlining the day and date window. We have gold hands, all three. And we have some lume at the tips, as you can see right here, of the indices. These are all gold. There's also a good amount of lume on the hour hand and the minute hand. And as you can see, it's got some lume on the second hand. This second hand is beautiful. This is actually reminiscent of my of my Omega Seamaster. And the arrow, or should I say the pointer, goes all the way to each individual marker so that you have no doubt as to what time, or should I say how many seconds you've got. The Hardalex crystal, you can see that there is actually a beveling going on. So it's a beveled crystal, and it's also domed. Very, very nice effect that it creates. As you can take a look at that. You can see the 100 meters at that angle right there. So it's refracting. Gives it a very, very high-end look, in my opinion. You know, it's a lot easier just to put a flat piece of glass in there. So, you know, any type of extra like beveling and doming of a crystal definitely is an added cost. And you do have a chrome cylindrical piece around here, and then you have this very unique bezel. And why I say it's unique, it's because first and foremost, you could see I even got some fingerprints on there. This bezel is actually crystal. Now, I've looked, and other people have looked in regards to what the bezel is made of, and there is absolutely nothing that states that whether or not it's a Hardalex crystal, if it's sapphire, is it mineral, but that it's definitely a crystal right here. And let me tell you why I like that. I have high-end watches that have the painted bezel, and let me tell you, I do not wear those watches when I am doing outdoor activities where I could possibly scratch it. It's kind of ironic because these are the watches that you're supposed to do sporty type things with. This would be the watch that I would, because it's got this scratch proof pretty much, or scratch resistant glass on top. And I'm actually using ceramic tweezers, guys, so I know a lot of you have been cringing the entire time. So these are just ceramic, so that's to not scratch anything. But I mean, take a look at this dial itself. It is beautiful. There's some things going on here. You've got the applied Seiko branding with the 5 logo and sports. These two are indeed applied. Sports is printed, and it's an automatic 23 joule movement, 100 meters of water resistance. All right, so this is definitely a diver watch. We take a look at the bezel itself. Outside of this being glass, the lettering, or should I say the numbering, is in gold print. There is no luminescence at the pip. I would like to see that. There is luminescence at the tip of the indices on the bottom here. Okay, and I'm going to give you guys a lume shot right here to show you where all the lume is. Now, when you take a look at this bezel, again, and I mentioned this in the unboxing, it looks like a gear, and it's very easy to grip. You know how some bezels are not very easy to grip? Well, this one is extremely easy to grip, and it's got that typical Seiko engagement. I have another Seiko here, and you can even just listen to yours as this is another Seiko 5 Sports. Again, it's just got that typical 120 click bezel on both of these, but it's just that typical spongy feel that I always like to say Seiko has. But this one is definitely an improvement. Not a lot of backplay, a little bit, but there is definitely, I mean, this one feels a little bit tighter than a lot of Seikos that I had, and I think that's just because this maybe needs to get broken in, and then it might feel, but maybe Seiko improved on that. I don't know. Maybe you guys can comment below on that. So for all you guys with OCD, I will put that the pip at the 12 o'clock. And let's go to the crown. The crown has pretty much that coin edge. The crown is actually a good size, very easy to change. It's the typical one click out. Let me actually bring this to the 6 o'clock position as you see the date changing. So we'll just bring it at 6, and we bring it out one click, and as you twist downward, you'll see that you're changing the day of the week. And this one has Arabic and English, and then you twist upwards and you've got the date. Okay, you pull it out a second click. As you can see, it is a non-hacking movement. With more expensive automatic movements, when you click it out too, the second hand will indeed stop. It makes setting the time to, like your phone for instance, much more precise because you can actually get it down to the second, where here it's going to continue ticking until the mainspring loses all of its energy. And speaking of the mainspring, we take a look. This watch does have an exhibition case back. And here is your, let's see, can we get closer? There we go. There's our rotor. There's our mainspring right there. Nice little ruby in the center. Not a highly decorated movement. I mean, you got Seiko Time Corp there. You've got the 23 joules. But Seiko doesn't do it up when it comes to decoration of movements. They give you a pretty basic looking movement. Not the ugliest movement I've seen, but definitely not the prettiest. So I mean, they're average. They're somewhere in the middle. But it's not about what it looks like. I mean, to me, this is like looking at a Toyota engine, not a Ferrari. The Toyota engine, this thing is going to run you multiple years with no hassle, and you're going to definitely get a lot of enjoyment out of this watch and a lot of use. So it's a very practical watch. The watch does not wind, as I stated, like when it's non-hacking, typically you cannot wind it either. This watch needs to be shaken in order for it to get kick-started and to also power up. All right, so as you wear it on your wrist, it will indeed continue to power up. All right, so let's take a look at the bracelet itself. The bracelet is nothing to write home about. It's very light. There's no solid end links, as you can see here. You've got this adapter here. Typical Seiko bracelet. You've got the stamped clasp. You've got your typical pressure fitted with the fold over clasp, Seiko written on it. You know, typically with Seikos, I switched out the bracelet. So, and of course you've got your push pins for the adjustments. It does have a micro adjustment of 4 positions. Very light bracelet, but again, nothing to write home about. But bracelets are so easy to swap out, and you typically get aftermarket, even leather bands, rubber straps for $10 or more. So, you know, definitely do not judge this watch based off the bracelets, because with Seiko, you're going to typically be very disappointed when it comes to that. But what Seiko lacks in bracelets, they make up with their movements and their quality of what is important, which is indeed this piece that, you know, the main case. And of course, Seiko is just the king of lume. So they give you great bang for your buck for not only just reliable movements, but they're also going to give you that lume that you typically will get with watches that cost 2, 3, even 4, 5 times the amount. So big reason why I love Seiko is just the reliability, their looks, but also that awesome lume. So let's get into some measurements, and this is where I'm going to really start to kind of nitpick a little bit on Seiko. So a 21 millimeter lug width is my first gripe, because when looking for an aftermarket strap for a 21 millimeter watch, good luck. Not a lot are available for watches at 21. They typically go in even increments. So if you want to find an 18, a 20, a 22, a 24, a 26, you're going to find tons of choices. 21s are a lot tougher to find, so you kind of have to go with what's available, and your choices are definitely more limited. So that's my first gripe. Let's take a look at the case diameter. And this is without the crown. We're looking at a 41. So that's actually a really, really good size. Definitely no gripes there. And then we take a look at the case thickness, and we're looking at a pretty chunky 14. I mean, your divers are going to be, especially your automatics, are going to be 13, 14 millimeters. So it falls within the typical diver width. And then if you want to take a look at it from lug to lug to see if it would fit your wrist, these lugs seem to taper a lot. So we're looking at a 47 millimeter lug to lug, which is actually not too bad. The watch I'm wearing today is the Luminox Blackout. The only easy day was yesterday watch. There's going to be a full review of this watch coming up, so definitely stay tuned for that. And I have been wearing it a lot, so that's why it looks kind of crusty. But we're going to put the Seiko on the wrist and show you what it looks like on a 7-inch wrist. And as you can see, it actually fits beautifully. The lugs actually don't spill over the edge, and it just fits very, very nicely on the wrist. If you have a 7-inch wrist, this would definitely be a perfect size for you. Divers can typically be a pretty hefty size, so this one is a little bit more conservative, but not too conservative. I mean, it's not a 38 or 39. It's a 41. So it definitely is above the classic size of a dress piece, but when it comes to a diver, this is definitely, in my opinion, right on the money. So just a beautiful, beautiful piece. And it's just a watch that you're definitely going to want to take a look at. The price is right. I actually have a link below on purchasing this watch from Amazon. So if you're interested, definitely click that link below. It'll take you right there for purchase. It won't cost you any more. I'm actually affiliate of Amazon, so Amazon just pays me a finder's fee, but you guys still get it for the same price, and you're also helping out the channel, helping by supporting the channel, and I definitely appreciate you guys doing that. So that is the Seiko 5 Sports. They call it the 55 Fathoms automatic. And as I stated, this is definitely going to be a classic one day. It just looks retro, but it's not retro sized. And as I stated, I think you're going to really dig the bezel with the with the crystal surround. I think that's just such a unique feature that I haven't seen on another watch before. Not saying that there's not other watches that have that. This is the first time I've seen this. So, well, I hope you guys enjoyed the Seiko 55 Fathoms automatic review. Guys, please hit that notification bell. And also, please subscribe to the channel if you want to see future content, because the next video coming up will be an exclusive interview with Jody from Just One More Watch. This guy is definitely, in my opinion, top 5 watch reviewers on YouTube, and I've actually have been humbled and had the pleasure to have interviewed him. And this is going to be a 2-part series, so you guys definitely don't want to miss that. So guys, please remember that there's always time to be kind to one another. Please take care of each other. God bless, and I'll see you guys next time on Average Joe Watch Reviews.